Open adoption allows parents to know their child and children better, and for children to understand themselves better. Open adoption is defined by a relationship between birth and adoptive families. These relationships can take many forms. Together, both parties decide the degree of communication involved in their relationship. Openness in adoption is not shared parenting. It is about creating positive relationships for the benefit of the child that gives children their information and access to their birth family history. No matter where a child is adopted from, an adoptive family needs to recognize that the child's birth family and other significant relationships, such as foster family, are part of who the child is.
This is Lori Puges, and I'm going to interview her about her adoption. How old were you when you were adopted?
I was adopted the day I was born. It was prearranged.
Do you know why you were adopted?
It was a teenage pregnancy.
Do you know your birth parents?
No, I never met them. I don't know their names, or I don't know where they live or anything about them.
Do you wish you had an open adoption so you had more information?
Yes, there's many times that I wish I had an open adoption. A big reason would be for medical, because there's many times that I've needed more information about my background, and I haven't been able to get any of that. And I would have liked to know who my birth mother was, what she was like, if I had any brothers or sisters, any other immediate family.
So in your opinion, open adoption is the right way to go for an adoption child?
Yes, I think it would be more healthy for the child. I think it would give them the option if they wanted to know their birth parents and their family, and it would give them information into their medical background and any other situations like that.
Thank you, Lori. Okay. So this is Kristen Everett. Her and her husband Mike adopted their son Nick. How old was Nick when he was adopted?
He was just born.
What made you choose an open adoption and not closed?
Well, we went into it thinking we were going to do closed for sure. Like open was kind of scary to us. And we went through the training that the adoption agency provided, and it really opened our eyes to that possibility, especially when they had different panels come and talk, and one was two birth mothers that talked about their experiences, and it really opened my eyes to adoption from their point of view, which I'd never thought of before. And so from that point forward, both my husband and I felt like, yeah, might be what we're going to do.
And were both of those people had open adoption, or did one have open and one had closed?
Actually, one was quite open, and the other one was somewhat closed. And it was actually the girl whose adoption was more closed that touched my heart, because I could see the pain in her not being able to see her birth child, and it really touched me. She was very emotional, and I just saw it from a whole different point of view. The other one was very open, and that was interesting too, because she had just had a visit with her birth daughter that day. They went out to eat. I was just like, wow. It just was this whole new thing that I never really thought of, and it was really pretty cool.
Okay. Do you think an open adoption is better for the child versus a closed adoption?
That would really be my opinion from everything that I've read and research that I've heard about. Most studies show that it's better because the child gets their questions answered. They don't have those the angst as much about who are my parents, like who are my birth parents. They know us as their parents, of course, but I think everybody has that within them, that desire to know
Okay.
who they are. Some more than others. As you know, every person's an
Yeah.
individual. Every person's totally different. I've talked to lots of people in closed adoptions that say they don't want to know,
Okay.
you know. But Nick has always known, and it's just what he's grown up with, so he doesn't know any different.
Okay. And does Nick see his birth mother or any family, and when did he see them?
He does. In the beginning, we just did a lot of pictures. That was our agreement, and we kind of left it open as to whether we would actually have visits. But around a year old, we were in contact with his birth mother and said, "Do you want to get together?" And so it was really a bit on our end because she really didn't push us, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
She always respected us, which made it easy for us.
Yeah.
She respected us as Nick's parents from the beginning. And so we asked her, and she did. And so then we saw them, and we saw her, and we saw her parents. So he knows his birth grandparents. Since then, he also knows her brothers and her sister. And now, in the past couple of years, he now has cousins, birth cousins that he knows. So it's been good for him, from what I can tell. He's 10, so we have the teen years to go through, which, you know, what his understanding will widen more and his perspective will be a little bit different. But so far, he seems to have a really good handle on it. To him, it's just the way life is.
Does he choose to see them, or is it all you right now?
He likes to see them, you know, but part of it is he likes presents too.
Oh.
He sometimes gets presents from them. But I think him knowing is important. He
Right.
may not even fully comprehend
Understand
that
it
yet,
yeah.
but I think it's important, and he has not asked those hard questions that most adopted people ask by his age. But I have been in contact. We have Michael's cousin did an open adoption about the same time as we
Right.
did. We just talked to them recently, and it's interesting because their daughter, I think it's more important for her. It seems like she has
She cares more than
to
he does.
see, yeah, at least the way they explained it to me. So I really think each situation is very unique, just like each child's very unique. Open adoption is awesome if you can do it, but in some situations it's not
Yeah.
the best because either the birth parents are maybe on drugs or they're not healthy psychologically, whatever. So of course every situation is different, and you have to go. I think if you can do it though, I think it's best. And from research that I've heard of too, the birth parents are more satisfied as well.
Because they feel closure knowing that they did the right thing.
Well, I think a mother needs to know her child's okay. And I think being able to see him, it's hard because she loves him very much,
Yeah.
so it's very hard for her. But at the same point, she loves to see him too. It's both things at the same time. It's always going to be a hard thing. It's a huge loss for her. But she did the best she could for him at that time. She did the best she could for him. So we respect her, and we're very pleased that she's a part of his life and our lives. So
Okay, thank you very much, Kristen.
you're welcome. I hope it didn't matter that